Have you ever asked yourself in the stillness of night why suffering follows us even when we seem to have everything we thought we wanted? Why the mind cannot rest? Why the heart cannot feel whole? Why the silence outside never matches the noise within? Buddhism offers a profound answer, and if you stay with me, you will see how Buddhist teachings can turn suffering into peace, not tomorrow, not in some distant future, but today, right now, in your very breath. Imagine this: a man stands before the Buddha, broken by the loss of his child. Grief has crushed him. He cannot sleep, he cannot think, he cannot eat. He cries out, "Why me? Why must I suffer so deeply?" And the Buddha, with compassion in his eyes, tells him, "Bring me a mustard seed from a household untouched by death, and I will cure your pain." So the man goes from door to door. Every house has a story of loss. Every family has tasted grief. And slowly the man realizes suffering is not his. Alone, suffering is the shared truth of all beings, and in that realization, the seed of wisdom sprouted, acceptance dawned, and his pain transformed into compassion. This story is not a tale of the past, it is the mirror of our own lives, because each of us has asked in our heart, "Why me? Why do I feel broken? Why is life unfair?" Buddhism does not answer with hollow promises. It reveals the truth. Suffering exists because we cling, because we desire, because we resist what is. And this clinging, this resistance, is like grasping fire. The tighter we hold, the deeper we burn. Think of your own mind when overthinking takes hold. When you lie in bed, exhausted, but your thoughts run wild. What if I lose my job? What if they don't love me? What if I fail tomorrow? The mind spins endlessly. The body stiffens. Sleep escapes. Peace is gone. This is suffering in its most common disguise, invisible to the outside world, but destructive within. Buddhism calls this the restless monkey mind, jumping from branch to branch, never still, never content. But here is the secret: the monkey mind does not have to be your master. You can tame it, you can see through it, you can smile at it and let it go. Buddhist wisdom teaches that thoughts are like clouds, always passing, never permanent, and the true sky, your true mind, remains vast, clear, untouched. But because you cling to every cloud, you forget the sky, you mistake the storm for yourself, and in this forgetting, you suffer. Now feel this: the problem is not that thoughts exist, the problem is the attachment. The agitation comes when we identify with every passing image, every voice, every fear. And the solution is awareness. The solution is letting go. The solution is seeing clearly. Imagine a diamond buried in mud. The mud is your overthinking, your fear, your craving, your anger. But the diamond, the luminous nature of your mind, is always there, unbroken, waiting to shine. Buddhist practice is not about creating peace. It is about uncovering what has always been, revealing the diamond beneath the mud. Attention stirs when I ask you, do you realize you are not your pain? Do you see that you are not your thoughts? You are not your suffering, you are the awareness watching them. Interest awakens when you understand that Buddhism gives not vague philosophy, but concrete practices you can apply now, in this very breath. Desire grows when you imagine living without this endless pressure. Imagine falling asleep with ease, waking with lightness, speaking with kindness, walking with freedom. Action begins when you try, when you stop just listening, and you practice, even for a single moment. So now let us practice together. Let us taste Buddhist teaching not as words, but as living reality. Close your eyes softly. Let your shoulders relax. Feel the weight you have carried all day and allow it to drop. Breathe in deeply, not forcing, but naturally. Feel the breath entering your body like cool water flowing into a parched land. Breathe out slowly. Feel the heaviness leaving as if the dust of countless worries is being swept away. With each inhale, whisper silently to yourself, I am here. With each exhale, whisper, I am free. Notice how thoughts rise. Perhaps they pull you to yesterday, perhaps they drag you into tomorrow, but do not fight them, do not chase them. Just notice, like watching clouds drifting across the sky. They appear, they pass, the sky remains, you remain. This is not escape, this is not denial, this is the essence of Buddhism: to see clearly, to know the impermanent as impermanent, to know the arising and passing of all phenomena, and in that knowing to taste peace. If right now your heart feels a little lighter, if even for a moment your mind feels calmer, know that this is the fruit of Buddhist teachings. Even from the smallest seed of practice, great peace can bloom. Suffering has always been here, yes, but peace has always been here too, hidden beneath layers of noise, waiting for you to remember. You do not have to wait until tomorrow. You do not have to become someone else. You do not need to escape your life. Peace is here, in the breath, in the pause, in the awareness. This is the first step, the first door opening, the beginning of Buddhist wisdom alive within you. And now, as we continue, let us go deeper, for Buddhist teachings are not only stories or gentle words, they are clear maps pointing to the nature of life itself. They explain why we suffer, they reveal how we can transform, and they guide us toward the stillness that has always been within. The Buddha spoke of the Four Noble Truths, the very heart of Buddhism: the truth that suffering exists, the truth that suffering has a cause, the truth that suffering can end, and the truth that there is a path leading to that end. Reflect on this: suffering is universal. Every being has felt pain, loss, fear, loneliness. And yet suffering is not punishment. It is the natural consequence of clinging to what cannot last, of resisting what is already changing. Buddhism points to craving, to attachment, to ignorance as the roots of suffering, like seeds that sprout into vines and wrap around the heart. But the Buddha also proclaimed with unshakable clarity, suffering can end. Freedom is possible. Peace is attainable, not by denying life, not by chasing endless desires, but by walking the Eightfold Path, a path of right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These are not commandments, they are directions, like stepping stones across a river, carrying you from the shore of confusion to the shore of peace. Let us pause here and apply Ada again. Attention is awakened when you see that suffering is not abstract, it is real. It is in your sleepless nights, in your restless heart, in your overthinking mind. Interest deepens when you realize Buddhism has a direct explanation, that suffering is caused by craving and clinging, not by fate, not by the world against you, but by the way we grasp at the ever-changing. Desire stirs when you imagine what life would be if you could release that clinging, if you could accept change with grace, if you could walk calmly even. When storms rage around you, action begins when you commit to practice. When you take even one step on the Eightfold Path, when you choose mindfulness over distraction, compassion over anger, clarity over confusion. Think about impermanence, one of the most powerful Buddhist teachings. Everything changes, nothing lasts, the body ages, the seasons shift, emotions rise and fall, even the mountains erode, and yet we cling, we demand permanence. From the impermanent, we demand eternity from the temporary, and in this demand we suffer. Buddhism does not say impermanence is cruel. It says impermanence is freedom. Because if pain arises and passes, if sorrow arises and passes, then no suffering is eternal. And if joy arises and passes, it teaches us to cherish the moment fully. Buddhist wisdom is like a lantern in a dark cave, showing us that our clinging to permanence is the true chain, and our acceptance of impermanence is the key. Let us practice again. Close your eyes once more, sit comfortably, breathe softly, and reflect on impermanence. Inhale and whisper silently, "This breath is new." Exhale and whisper, "This breath is gone." Notice how each breath arises, stays for a moment, then vanishes. Notice how thoughts arise, stay for a moment, then vanish. Notice how feelings arise, stay for a moment, then vanish. The practice is not to stop change. The practice is to see change clearly, to rest in awareness while the river of life flows. This is guided meditation. This is Buddhism alive, not philosophy, but direct experience. And as you breathe, consider compassion, another jewel of Buddhist teachings. Why do we suffer so much? Not only because of our own pain, but because we are entangled in the pain of others, because we compare, we judge, we separate. Buddhism teaches compassion as the antidote to see that every being, even those who hurt us, are suffering too, to respond not with anger, but with understanding. Imagine the freedom of a heart that does not harden with resentment, but opens with compassion. Imagine the peace of releasing hatred, of carrying love instead. Now ask yourself, do you want to remain chained by anger, by fear, by craving, or do you want to walk lighter, freer, with Buddhist wisdom guiding your steps? Do you want to continue the endless cycle of overthinking, or do you want to rest in the stillness that is always here? This is the conditional hook. If you do not change, suffering will continue, overthinking will devour your peace, fear will control your choices. But if you begin to practice, if you begin to see clearly, then even today, you can find peace. So here is the invitation. Join me, join all of us who walk this path of awareness. Subscribe, like, and share. Not because numbers matter, but because peace spreads like a candle, lighting another candle. One flame becomes many, and the world grows brighter. Share this teaching so that someone lost in overthinking may find rest, so that someone drowning in sorrow may find breath. Remember, if you ignore these teachings, your mind will remain restless, your nights will remain heavy. But if you embrace them, if you take even one step, you will begin to see that suffering is not your enemy. It is your teacher, leading you to freedom. This is the inclusive invitation. Let us continue together. Let us explore deeper Buddhist teachings. Let us practice together. Let us sit in silence together. For Buddhism is not a solitary path. It is the path of compassion, of community, of Sangha. And finally, let me leave you with this blessing. May you be free from suffering. May you find peace in this very breath. May you discover that within you, beneath all the noise, is the still lake of Buddhist wisdom, reflecting the moon of peace. Remember, the journey is not tomorrow, it begins now with this breath, with this choice. Subscribe, like, share, and let us walk together. May you be well, may you be calm, may you be free.